Hey guys, this is John with Yard to Table Appalachian Homesteading, and I'm here with Jackie. She has a nursery here in Powell Valley area of LaFollette, and she's been doing this for 40 years, and she's going to give us a tour today of her nursery and give us some of that 40 years of wisdom that she's got. She has got some beautiful plants back here. Look at this, guys, and we're going to look at them and hear her secret of doing this for 40 years. So, you ready?
I think so.
All right. We're going to walk around here and see what all she's got, and she can tell her story. I was here yesterday, and she told how her and her husband started here 40 years ago, and she's still doing it. So I'm excited to be here today. So get you some coffee and sit down, and let's look at some beautiful plants here today. All right, we're on the outside of the nursery here. Now tell them the address here so they can find you.
The address is 191 Old Middlesboro Highway in LaFollette, and if you're a local around here, you know it's right behind Big O's.
And there's a sign that says open, but you don't really have another sign by the road. It just says open.
I'm only open April, May, and June. I do Monday through Saturday, 9:30 to 5:30.
All right. Well, let's go back a little bit on time when we talked about this a little while ago about how things changed when the big box stores come in. The first, when we got Walmart that started having plants, that was the first time we at one time it seemed like as I was growing up in the 70s, there was a lot more local nurseries, you know.
Yes.
So do you think over time the big box stores has put a hurt on the smaller people
Yeah, especially right at first when they opened up, but I think now finally people are wanting to support local more. So, you know, the grow local and shop local and all of that. So I think that is starting to become bigger now.
You see that as a trend now?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Especially people who are conscious of corporate America and maybe don't care for them so much.
I got you. All righty. Well, so we talked about this. You got some different soil that you like to use here.
Yeah, I have the ocean forest potting soil, and I mainly get the smaller bags for you know, older women who maybe don't have anybody to help them. A smaller bag is good for them. And then if you're into it more, I have the Lambert, the bigger bags. And then over here for gardening, you can use this on flowers and trees and stuff too, but a lot of people use the black cow when they plant their vegetable plants. Let me show you. I don't have a lot of medicinal herbs, but I do have some mountain mint. I have chamomile, which is, you know, good for upset stomach. I have small chamomiles as well too in here. And I have some self-heal, which is basically antibacterial, fungal, viral, anything. And they're actually using it for cancer studies. Right. The self-heal. Of course, sage is pretty good. Lemon balm is good for like depression and stuff like that. The lavender is good, about like lemon balm. You can mix lavender and lemon balm together, make a nice tea.
What about skullcap?
I do not have skullcap.
Okay.
And
do you have what is it called? Valerian?
Valerian?
Yeah.
I do not.
You don't have any?
No. Honey, if you're really interested in a lot of medicinal herbs, I tell people to go down to Erin's in Clinton, Erin's Herb Meadow, because she has a lot of different unusual stuff.
Okay.
And I've tried for years to, you know, get more and more people interested in medicinal herbs, but
I think
they
a
just
lot of people's coming back to
are they
it.
finally catching on?
There's a whole lot that's, I mean, you can treat a lot of different things with it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You know,
So
What's got you interested in it? Have you used them before, or?
yes, I've got some started. I make the jewelweed, which is really good for poison ivy, itching, bug bites, bee stings. I sell a lot of that at my
So you
craft
sell
show.
some? Okay.
Just that.
Okay.
I don't sell it unless a whole lot of people that I give it to says, okay, this really works. I want some more.
Okay.
And jewelweed is my #1 so far.
Now, do you do anything with the comfrey and the calendula?
The comfrey and the calendula.
Yes.
Now, which ones are those? So you mentioned
The comfrey is here. The calendula is outside, and it actually grows up and makes a pretty, like a daisy bloom,
Yes,
yellow
it's
and orange.
beautiful,
But that
beautiful.
is good for all kinds of skin issues. And actually, I've gotten away from doing salve. I just do the oil now. And I made a comfrey, calendula, plantain, and dandelion oil. And a girl who is getting ready to have knee surgery in a month, she said that's the only thing that has helped her knee pain in a long time. So I just gave her the oil, and she just rubs it on, you know.
Yeah, that's good too. I've tried growing the arnica. I can't say the names.
Arnica, yeah. It's
but it comes about that much, and then that's it.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It likes it high altitude and alkaline soil. So
okay.
clay soil and acid does not do it good.
That's probably where mine's at. But I do have the yarrow.
Yes.
The yarrow's fantastic. I have a field of it.
Yeah, that's good and easy to grow.
Oh yeah, and the toothache plant.
Yes,
Have you?
I have toothache plant.
I'm growing it. There it is. Right
Yes, right here.
there. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Now,
And-
how do you use that? How do you process that to use that for
Well,
toothaches?
Now you can rub that on your
Just chew it.
chew
Oh,
it
yeah?
right now and see what it does.
It numbs your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had my husband's work comes over once a year, and so I had some tincture, and
Yes.
I got everybody to try it, and there's about 25 people there, and I said, just rub a little and put it on your gum, and they're like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
You know, yes, it does work.
Yes.
Yeah, for a toothache.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a beautiful flower.
Yeah, it's these need to be repotted, of course, but I just got a packet because I grew it years ago, and I just like the bloom.
Oh yeah, I do too.
And then it makes a nice little house plant when you can take it in for a little house plant as well.
I can tell it feels like it numbs you.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can imagine if you ate a lot of it.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, and especially if you made a tincture.
Yes.
A tincture. Now tell us about that. What do you mean by that?
You take the leaves or the bloom, whatever part you're supposed to use for. I usually just use everything when I'm doing herbal stuff. And you just take the. You can either dry it or you can do it fresh. Just stuff it down in a mason jar and pour over. I use vodka because that pulls out the property, and then you just put it in the little tincture bottles. You know, 2 ounce or 4 ounce, and it has the little pipette because you just need like about a third of about that much of a little pipette is all you need a day. You know.
Okay.
Well, I guess if you're having a toothache, you might want it, you know, 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah. And
So-
you do 100% vodka. I do. Do you?
Actually, I just do the 80 because it's cheaper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we go down to Pops down on Emory Road and get you know, because you can get a case for like $14 a big bottle.
The one in Lake City's cheaper.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well I'll have to
Yes.
go down there because
That's where we go.
my
Yeah.
friend and I, we go down there, and it's like every, 4 months. And when we walk in the door, they're like, "Okay, go get her a case."
Now what's this right here? This is pretty. What's this do?
This is that actually is a wildflower, Verbena bonariensis. That will grow up about 4 foot tall, bushes out about maybe 3 foot wide. Has a pretty bloom that gets about yay big, almost like a Queen Anne's lace. If you see that in the summer, the white blooms that are out in the fields everywhere.
Yeah.
But that is purple, and that is good to attract all kinds of beneficial pollinators, butterflies.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like
so
that.
So out of the things you got in here for butterflies, would that be one of the better ones? Because I'd like to get something for
Yes,
butterflies.
that, and as well as the marigolds over there.
Okay.
They like geraniums here. They love the petunias over there. And most of those will attract not only just the butterflies, but hummingbirds as well.
Oh, okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah, and bee balm. They love
Yes,
bee balm.
I don't have any bee balm, but yeah, John, you need to get some of that bee balm because that is something that will spread and come back,
Okay.
and it has a real pretty flower,
It's beautiful.
and that attracts all kinds of pollinators.
This is pretty. I like things with these pretty purples in them for some reason. I
Yeah.
don't know why I'm attracted to
Now
those. That's a deal?
that's deal, and that will that'll grow up about 2 to 3 foot tall. It'll bush out as it grows, and then you'll get the great big yellow flowers that will turn into the dill seed.
So it makes flowers too.
Yes, and that all of the herbs and wildflowers are basically good.
Now,
Pollinator
when can these be
attractors.
planted out? Are they good for now, or is it still too cold to be outside?
Most of the herbs, you can go ahead and plant them now because I
Okay.
don't. Now it could get cold again. It will get cold, but I don't think it's going to get cold for a hard freeze.
Okay.
I mean, it could. I'm not going to swear to it, but I think
Blackberry winter's almost over.
yes.
As we look around today, I'll find me a few things I'm going to take with me and plant, and then we'll.
Yes.
I'll let.
Let me get out of your way.
Yeah.
That's a good herb.
Which
Your
one?
Cayenne,
Oh, that's a.
cayenne peppers.
Yeah, she was just talking about
Okay.
them. Is that the ones you're just growing this year for the first time, or is that?
No, that's the habanada.
Oh,
I
okay.
grow the cayenne because people around here want that to eat. Well, a lot of people like to eat it with their pinto beans,
Okay.
and then but you can use it to make a good salve for pain.
Oh, really?
You dry the peppers and then you make your salve with after you grind them up.
Grind them up,
Okay.
put them in the olive oil, and most of the time you go around and set at least. I try to do mine 6 weeks at a time.
Yeah, yeah.
Let it set in the tincture or the salve into the avocado oil.
So you grow some of this stuff up and at your house and then turn it into. Okay. Nice.
I usually carry jewelweed in my purse.
Now, what's that good for? The jewelweed.
The itching.
Oh yeah.
But that's good for poison ivy.
You can just rub the
Jewelweed.
leaf, or is that a salve that you've made?
Yep, this is salve that I've made.
Oh, you've made this up. Well, you do a good job. Maybe we need to come make a video of you making that stuff up.
Anything that itches, my husband got a bee sting right here. I mean, that thing pawned up red. And I said, just try it. That's when I first was getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. The next morning, it was completely gone.
Really?
He couldn't even tell
Mm-hmm.
that it
Let's see.
was.
Let's call it $7, honey.
It's good.
Yes, and planting, just plain old planting out in the yard is good for all that kind of stuff too.
Now, I do grow feverfew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you had the lady come in looking for some things, and that was one of the things we talked about earlier is how it's different when they come here because they can actually ask you questions from your 40 years of experience. So
Yes, and actually I graduated from UT Knoxville with a degree in horticulture.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Well, how about that?
So that's, I grew up with my grandma Lakin, and I was always over there in summers and before I started school, and she was always into gardening and all that kind of stuff. So I guess I inherited that from her.
Okay. So what did you want to go do that at a young age and get that degree, or is that something you did later on?
No, I actually, by the time I was a freshman in high school, I went to Powell High School, grew up in Powell. So by the time I was a freshman, I knew I was going to do something with plants.
Really?
And my mom, she was a manager at Third National Bank at that time, down on Merchants Road. And of course, she knew everybody in Knoxville. And so she came home one day and she's like, you can get a degree working with plants. And I'm like, are you kidding? And she's like, no. So I checked into it and, planned what to do, what classes to take and everything to get into it.
Well, how about
Because
that?
it was something, at that time, it was just new getting started on the ag campus.
All right, so I was just asking you about, you've got some raised beds, and so what, you called that your garden that you put cucumbers in?
Yeah, in the that one box that has the trellis around it, where you can see I haven't cleaned off last year's cucumber vines. That's where I usually grow at least a couple of cucumbers and a tomato plant. And then I have some of the walking perennial onions in there. That's what the big green clump is. On that other side, I will usually either do a couple of tomatoes or 3 pepper plants. In the other bed over there, it's getting a lot more shady now since the taxus bushes have gotten so big, but I usually do at least half of that bed over there. I usually do carrots, and in this area where it's not really raised beds anymore, but it's like a bed, I've got a couple of asparagus clumps down in there, and this first area, it's basically got a lot of my Loving Mist, which is just a flower that's come up in there, and over here on the left. And but down in through there, I'll usually plant about 4 or 5 tomatoes and maybe another 3 pepper plants.
So you was talking about carrots. Now, do you plant those carrots by seed there?
Yes.
And when do you plant those here?
Actually, I should have already planted them, but I have experimented. You can plant carrots all the way up till about the 1st of July, and then they'll just come in later in the fall.
Okay.
Because right now I don't have time to, because you have to babysit carrot seedlings to get them to germinate. You got to make sure they don't dry out completely, or you won't get them good germination, if any. So you have to kind of babysit them. So I usually wait till about the middle of June to plant my carrots.
You plant them directly in the soil? Or, okay.
Yes.
I had watched a little bit and said that they're hard to transplant because it messes, to make the carrots pretty. Is that true?
It is. You want to direct sow carrots because they do not like to be transplanted because they make a tap root.
Yeah. That's what I got some to come up in seeds, but I'm like, I just went ahead and I planted some the other day, some 3 different types of carrots. So I actually come across some that's multicolored carrots. I don't know.
Yes.
I just thought they were interesting.
Yeah, I do those too. Yes.
Yeah. Now are they eatable?
Yes.
You can actually eat them.
And actually, the yellow ones, I like the yellow ones better than the orange ones. I mean, they have more of a, I don't know, not super sweet, more like a carrot flavor.
Okay.
You know. But now don't get me wrong, I love the sweet orange ones too.
Now, one of the videos I watched, one of the guys, he said that carrots are sweeter in the cooler weather. Come summer, he says they're not sweet like they are if you grow them. So
yeah, so if you that is like when you do like radishes and lettuce, that is one of the early onion sets and onions. You should do your carrots early then. And so if you wait, I usually wait till about mid-June, and then they start maturing when it starts cooling down in the fall.
Okay. So I noticed all your cactuses. Now, how did you start your cactus garden here?
Well, somebody brought me just a paddle. You call it a paddle here. Well, I guess it was 40 years ago.
Right.
And there was like 3 or 4 of them, and I just kind of threw them down over there. And that's how much they have spread in 40 years.
Wow. So my mom and dad back in the 70s brought one home, and I think my son still has it. And
yes.
I gave it to him, and so it's amazing how long they'll live. Do you have any idea how long they actually live, or do they just reproduce and they just keep making new?
As they fall over, then they'll just root. I'm not going to touch them, and you shouldn't either, John, because they have little bitty tiny thorns that you can't see. And now this will be the bloom, and it'll get up about this tall, about yay big around, and then it'll turn a purple color. And I have 2 or 3 ladies who come, and they use that to make jam with it.
Oh, cactus jam. They call it cactus jam?
They call it prickly pear. Jam, because that's a prickly pear cactus.
Okay, I've heard that term, but I didn't know that's what they were talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
It's the only cactus that's hardy in this area.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people probably don't realize, that this will come back in this cold weather.
Yes.
I mean, we had one that just lived in a pot. It wasn't even in the ground, and you'd think the roots would have froze up on it, you know, and would have killed it, but it didn't kill it even in a pot.
Yes.
So.
And see, it actually has helped because underneath all of that is just great big rocks that they filled in because they leveled this off before
Okay.
we moved here. And before all that was here, when little kids would come up, they would be in there trying to bounce around on the rocks.
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
so
That keeps everybody out, them cactuses.
yes, and if they don't have the parents to tell them not to get in there, good luck to the parents because they're going to be dealing with some stickers.
So is this, what's this, cabbage or what's this?
That's the cabbage there.
Okay.
I had, this is the last of it. I always grow cabbage, broccoli, 2 or 3 different kinds of lettuce, a little bit of chard, I have a few of my walking onions still.
Walking onions. Now what's a walking onion mean? What's that about?
That is actually, it's a perennial onion, and what it does is this, well, you can see right here, this will make a little, this basically is another plant that's going to form, and as it grows, it'll get up like this and fall over, and wherever it hits the dirt, it'll start another little plant.
So they call it walking. It
yes. Mm-hmm. And then it doesn't make I have that clump down there, that real green clump. It's only been down there for 3 years from like this size right here.
Okay.
And they don't get huge onions, but they get about like this, you know. And then I always grow some like the candy onions, which is like a Vidalia, the plants, because if you want to get a big onion, you need to get onion plants instead of the sets, because they won't ever get.
Now tell us the difference between plants and sets. What's that mean?
The sets is like the little bulbs that people go and get. It looks like a little onion.
Okay,
that's called a set.
Okay.
And if you grow from seed, then you call them the plants. And most of the ones that you grow from seed is where you're going to get, if you want to make big onions, because the candy will get like a Vidalia onion, and then I grow the giant, what was it, Sierra Blanc.
Let's look at those. Is that them over there?
Yes.
I'm interested in what you're talking about on the onions, because I planted some and I don't know anything about the sets and the plants on the size of the onions. So the ones I planted are not going to get very big then.
No. And see this, you just take this out here, and to plant this, I would go ahead and cut these tops back, because I started these back in January, and as they grow, you cut them back 3 or 4 times. And these need to be planted like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
But they actually, you can still put them out, and they will still make a decent onion. They might not make quite as big as they would have if you'd done it like a couple of weeks ago, but they'll make onions yay big, you know.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's what I was worried about on my onions. It didn't look like they're going to get very big on what I planted.
No, when you get the sets, see, that is like they had grown that from an onion plant back in the fall.
Okay.
And then instead of planting it out and letting it get big, they just let it make a little set.
Okay.
And then that's what most people
So then
plant.
what are they using that small onion for? Are they using it just for the green, this part here? What do you call this?
The green onion.
The green onion part.
And most people when they plant the sets, they just want the green onions anyway.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you use a set, you're not going to get a big onion.
Okay.
I mean, you might get.
So you're making chives out of it, Mason. Is that what you call it, chives?
No, chives is different.
Chives is different. Okay.
Here's chives right here.
Okay.
And then it looks like it basically looks like an onion. Of course, it's in the onion family, and this will be the bloom. But these don't get. On this, you just use the green part.
So, but on this, you'd use them the same way, though? I put topping on stuff?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But this is going to make a big onion.
Big onion.
Is the main thing for this.
Okay, these are. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still learning. That's the reason I'm
Yes.
here, trying to figure things out. And I appreciate you.
The sets are good for to use for green onions, because you can get in there and clip, and it'll still keep growing more greenery.
Okay.
And then if you like chives, you've had chives on baked potato.
All right, so I see that you've got a lot of different flowers, or petunias mainly, out here. Then what's these other ones down here on the end?
These are the regular single petunias.
Okay.
And these down here are double petunias.
Oh, okay. So I didn't recognize these as a petunia. So that means they do
Yes.
double.
They just look almost like a carnation.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Something like a carnation.
You can see here's like the double. You can put them in a basket or something.
Well, that one looks like a rose almost. It's so thick.
Yes.
Now on these pots like this, is this stuff you started from seed and
Yes,
grow these?
I've started those from seed back in January. I always do up some baskets, and then I do flats, of course, because you know some people like to get. You can go in there and get you a mixed flat of, you know, you can mix vegetables, herbs, flowers, whatever you want. Because some people like to make up their own pots, you know.
Okay, so we've got Mother's Day's coming up, so that's a busy time, I'm sure, for selling all these.
People come and get the baskets, and some people come and just get a mixed tray and take them and plant them for the mom. And some people actually come and get vegetables for mom.
Okay.
And plant them. So
yeah, I'm just kind of fascinated with all the different things wherever I go.
That's mountain mint.
Okay.
And that is a native mint.
Okay.
And it's not as bad as like peppermint and spearmint. They are bad to spread and take over an area.
Okay.
But the mountain mint stays. The clump gets bigger, of course, but it won't spread and take over like peppermint and spearmint. I mean, unless you want that. You know, some areas you do want it to spread.
Okay.
But if you have a bed that you want different stuff, don't put peppermint or spearmint in there.
Well, that's what I heard. I've got some mint that I did plant because I had to get it out of its pot because it was root bound. I temporarily planted it in my raised bed, but I understand it will just keep growing.
Yes.
And take over.
You need to just get you a decent, like a pot, like something like that.
Yeah.
And just have it sitting out there, and because it'll come back even if it's in a pot.
Yeah.
It'll survive the winter and come back.
Yeah, they say it just keeps coming back and coming back. And very evasive in there. So
yes.
I'm learning a little bit at a time.
Yes.
So these are interesting right here. I keep seeing, every time I look, I see something different. This must be, this looks tropical or something.
That is tropical. That is a bird of paradise.
Bird of paradise.
Yes. And I started those from seed about 10 years ago, I guess now. And I have some smaller ones, but it gets the big bloom. It almost does look like a bird, and it's like orange and yellow. And they're pretty pricey if you go like to a florist just to buy one stem.
Oh, yeah.
So I got 100 seeds and thinking, hey, if I get 5 or 6 to come up, I think 88 of them came up.
Oh yeah?
Yep. So I still got about 20 trying to sell after 10 years. But, you know, that's how some things are.
So what does sell the best for you around here? Like you got flowers, you got probably some mix. Like me, I'd mainly be a vegetable buyer, but I would buy some flowers. But
I'd say on the flowers, I'd say it's pretty close between the petunias and the marigolds and the geraniums.
Geraniums, okay.
Yes. And then, of course, the tomatoes is the big vegetable seller.
Okay, so you do more tomatoes.
I do more tomatoes. I do a small amount of peppers.
Let's do a walkthrough real quick, and
yes.
We can't see everything because you got so many things, but anything of interest that you see, or I see so many things, even like this right here is interesting to me.
Yes, this is like a little, well, it's purple oxalis. It has that little yellow bloom. And some people just call it the shamrock.
Okay.
Because there's different ones of the shamrocks.
Now, is it stay close on the ground, or is it?
Yeah, it'll get up maybe about a foot tall and bush out about a foot wide, and that is good for. You can have that out, you know, like on the porch for the summer, but that makes a pretty good house plant too.
House plant, okay.
Yes, I have a few house plants, not many, but some. And then, of course, I've got more baskets in here for the Mother's Day and the.
Oh, I'm just now noticing you do. Now, you've been making these up for a little while, I guess. You
yes.
do all this by yourself? You get a little bit of help?
No, I have my good friend Shelley, and I have a good friend Rita and Robin who have the Woolly Pig Farm.
Okay.
And our friend Susan. They come, you know, whenever they can and help out for an hour or two here and there. And because if it wasn't for them helping me, I wouldn't be able to do this much.
Well, that's odd that you mentioned the Woolly Pig Farm the other day when I was here, and I reached out to her.
Yes,
and,
yeah, they were excited.
So I'm gonna go see them.
And then over here, I just have a small selection of herbs.
So I'm gonna take a little bit of everything. I just don't have room for it. I've had to learn to quit buying so much stuff when I don't have a place to keep it or put it. So
Now these are the geraniums here, and you know I sell this size here for people who want to use them in pots, and then I have some in baskets for you know, Mother's Day. I have some baskets that we did mixed, you know, and then
this is the one I was looking at right here earlier.
Yes.
I like that. I'm gonna try to.
we'll definitely get you a couple of those out so you can take.
That's something that is
And
different.
sometimes if it's not a bad winter, this can come back from the root. So,
Okay.
but it's not terribly reliable, but it can. So, and then let's see, we're going to get started with the different tomatoes. We have some tomatoes outside, but in here I've got, I have at the moment 30 different kinds of tomatoes.
30. Wow.
Yes. But now some of them I just have like one tray.
Okay.
You know.
So I see the tray's got.
This is Roma. I've got Opalka. Over here I have the pineapple, which is the big yellow with the red stripes. Beefsteak. I have a lot of heirlooms. Cherokee purple, green zebra.
Now tell me, I've been trying to learn the difference in what that means when you say heirloom on that.
The heirloom is, well, it's kind of a debate even in tomato circles, but most people agree that an heirloom is a tomato that you can save the seed off of, and it has to be at least 50 years old or older.
That will grow back the same.
It'll grow back the same, exactly, because if you like the Better Boy, people know Better Boy and Big Boy, those are hybrids. That's where they have taken two parents and crossed them, and
so those seeds would come back maybe different.
those seeds would come back to have more of one of the two parents. I mean, you would still get a tomato, but it wouldn't be the same.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to learn. I heard something about that the other night, and I thought, well, maybe I could ask you about that.
Yeah. The heirloom just basically means, and open pollinated is where if it's less than 50 years old, but it's stable and you can save the seed off of those as well.
Now, what's the 50 years and what's that got to do with the 50 years that's been around?
I don't know.
For 50 years?
I think that's what I don't know. People in the tomato world, I guess they could agree on if it's at least 50 years old. And then there's all kinds of heirlooms, and every heirloom has a story behind it of who saved it and where it came from and all that kind of stuff.
So you can, now when it comes to making a hybrid, now do they do that by splicing one stem to another stem on tomatoes? How's that
No,
work?
that would be grafting.
Grafting, like on apples. It's not the same thing.
No.
You can't graft tomatoes then.
You can actually. They are grafting some tomatoes. I forget what they call it. Now they have a root stock that they're using to graft some of the heirlooms onto, because a lot of heirlooms, you know, they're more prone to disease and not as much production as like a hybrid. But this, I don't know what the name of the rootstock is, but it's a certain one that they're experimenting with that and getting better disease resistance and better production from the heirlooms now.
Okay.
And now they're even actually crossing some of the heirlooms and making like a heirloom cross, I don't know is what they call it maybe, but
so there must be quite a bit of different number, a large number of different tomatoes out there that can be.
Yes.
So I think I saw one YouTuber said he'd grew 200 different varieties. Does that sound right? That sounds
yeah.
That sounds
I don't know. I think there are a lot more than 200 varieties of tomatoes, heirlooms. Yes.
Well, here, let me help you with those. Look at those. I'm going to take them and put them in the garden.
Yes.
So I like those. Those are pretty.
And then back here I've got a few, more flowers through here, but I've got my first batch of cucumbers and squash.
Okay, I've got some cucumbers up too. And actually took some pictures of them the other day.
Yeah, I saw on your channel, they looked good. And then I'll be doing, this week I will be doing another round of cucumbers and zucchini and yellow squash and some watermelons. I usually do some crimson sweet, and
So you'll plan them to get them out in these cups like this right
yes.
here. So what is this, like a 4-inch cup? I noticed this is your big.
That's probably about 3-inch there.
A 3-inch cup. I like
Yes.
these. So they come individually. You buy
Yes.
these by the thousands, I guess. So
Actually, I get when I order my supplies, I get a box of this is called an insert, this whole thing,
okay,
and I usually in a box there's 200 in a box.
okay.
And I usually I do 8. This is called an 1801 because there's 18 in there, and then I also do 12s, like the big. These are the big marigolds here.
Okay.
You can see there's 12. They call that a 1201. So
it comes with the inserts too, or do you buy the?
you have to buy the flats. Which,
Separate.
the flats are on the end.
So I noticed these don't hold
Yeah.
any water at all. So they're not. You
No.
don't want that water to drain, and you just water what you need every day.
Yeah, you have to. Watering is one of the most important jobs because you have to know. You don't want to water too much because things can drown, of course. And I try to let things get towards the dry side in between watering, because if you don't, you can get a lot of disease problems.
Do you water in the mornings, or when do you water in the greenhouse?
When it's cool, I will water in the morning. But when it gets like the last couple of weeks, it was 85 degrees every day. I will water whenever I have the time.
You can get to it. Wow, this is beautiful coming up down here. Now that looks like a, what do you call this down here growing?
That is called a Alternanthera.
That almost looks like something that you see growing in the woods around here. I was out in the woods not long ago, and there's a plant something like similar to that.
Yes. And now actually, I tried to get people interested in that probably, I don't know, years ago, and nobody was interested. So, honey, I have probably tried 300 different plants that I wanted people to get interested in, but they want to stick with what they know.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some people that'll try this or that.
I'm one of them. I like different, like me. See,
Yes.
I've never seen these before, but they're beautiful. I don't know.
Yes.
And what you call them still, you told me, but I can't remember.
It's a verbena.
A verbena.
Verbena bonariensis. Or you can just say a tall verbena, because some verbenas are like a ground cover.
Well, I really like the different variety of stuff that you got here. So you
Yes.
guys that's local here in Campbell County or surrounding areas, you guys need to make sure to come out and see Jackie before Mother's Day, because after Mother's Day there won't be much left. You've got a little bit of time to get out here, and then you start shutting down as you sell out, I guess. After Mother's Day, you don't probably.
Well, I don't ever sell out.
You slow down some, I guess.
Yes, after Mother's Day, yes, it's a lot slower. But I have a lot of newer customers that, they've moved out to the lake, or they have the lake homes.
Yeah.
And most of those people are not used to doing anything until Memorial Day. So
Okay.
I have a pretty good little rush there around Memorial Day. And then after that, it's pretty much in, I'd say the first couple of weeks of June. The first week of June, I get teachers who haven't had time to do anything till
Okay.
school's out. And then usually by the middle of June, everybody's pretty much done because it's so hot, nobody wants to go out.
Yeah, that's the way it is on the YouTube videos. They'll start watching videos come June. Right now, everybody's out in the yard, so you
Yes.
don't get as many views.
And then, of course, when it comes to June, I will have some things that are on sale that I don't want to pot up. Because a lot of things, if I can save it over through the winter, I will just pot it up and save it till next year.
So you've got these here. These are $10 in sets like this right here. What's your baskets usually run different prices depending on what's in there?
No, I just say 25 on the baskets. That way it makes it easier. These, a lot of people will get these for 10. I mean, because look, you just take that and you make up your own basket.
Right.
So some people like to get it cheaper and make them up, and then some people will even get the little small starters of the. Now this is a few things that I just got started like a week or so ago. This is a licorice vine, and it will stay that silvery color, and it will grow and hang down. This is some more of the blue fan flower, which is like this. See, that's just one plant, and that'll grow down and hang here. I did some red, white, and blue baskets this year. We did some of the primary colors like this. And then we did some that'll take a little bit more shade, like this here. Because this will come out and bloom.
What's this plant right here that we're looking at right here? What's this
right
one?
here.
That's okay. That's called what though?
That is called a New Guinea impatient.
Okay, I know that one. I planted that one. I knew this one here. I didn't see the bloom on it, but this.
Yes.
This is a different impatient though.
This is a million bells.
A million
or
bells.
Calibrachoa.
Okay.
And this is a begonia.
But they make impatiens a couple of different varieties, I think, right?
Yes, they have. These can take the sun a lot better because the regular impatiens, the little patch over there, I think there's like a little pink. Here we go. We'll go up here.
Okay.
Those are more for if you have a real shady area. They can take the shade good and bloom real pretty in the shade, like this. And those still need a couple more weeks when it's definitely warm enough.
Warmer. Okay.
Yes.
Now, so you got a hot water heater and you got a furnace here to keep this in the wintertime. You heat this up and to keep a certain temperature to sprout or to for seedlings or
for the seedlings. This right here, I have heating cables.
okay.
So there's 4 rows all the way.
You say heating cables. Does it work with the water? Hot
No,
water?
actually, I don't use the water heater anymore
Was
because
that something that you heated in here with? Or?
we used to use that, but since my husband died, I am not the plumber.
Okay, so that was a way to keep stuff warm. Okay.
Yeah, and we would water smaller stuff and keep it. And
See from putting cold
yes.
water on it.
but now, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, and then of course the heater there. I keep the I started having through the winter. I have the thermostat at 38 degrees because I don't have a lot of stuff left. But so I basically just enough to keep it from dying, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
For the big stuff that I'm saving over, because it's when you get to the power bill, and that has to have fuel on number 2 as well.
Okay. Right.
So
it's expensive running that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Cuts into any money you're going to make on anything.
Yes.
You got to pay that out in fuel.
Oh yeah. And then I have a lot of tomatoes over here that I grow for my friend Gail Stanley. She's big into you can see each one of these flats has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tomatoes. She's really into the heirlooms, and all of those are different heirlooms that she trials every summer at
Now,
her.
what do they do? Are they selling these tomatoes? That's a lot of tomatoes for one person.
No,
to grow.
she grows it just to basically give away.
That's a lot of tomatoes.
Yes, and she tells people, she lives way out in Pinecrest. They have a farm out there, her
Yeah.
and Bill, and they just tell people, hey, if you want to come and pick, come on and pick them. And then she's
She's going to have a lot of people show up this year because they say tomatoes is going up like 20% already right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, she probably will. Yes.
They're getting more. I've been seeing that on the news about the tomatoes for some reason.
Okay. Oh, I bet because they had that hard freeze in Florida.
Yeah, the Florida and something in Mexico. Water, too much rain or water or something. Yeah, something going on. Yeah, you're right.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So they're saying it's going to be about 20% more expensive on tomatoes. So everybody better come down here and see Jackie and get them a tomato plant.
Well, hey, one of my friends was here earlier getting some plants, and she was telling me that, I forget who it was, but apparently they're down at Tractor Supply set up selling some really beautiful strawberries today until like 2 o'clock. And she said, I guess they're going to be doing that as long as the strawberries are coming.
Okay.
So if you want you some good strawberries.
We actually just made a video yesterday with Tracy. You know
Yeah,
Tracy?
I know Tracy, yes.
And she made strawberry jam
Ooh,
and
yum.
strawberry pie. So that's a video
yum.
coming out with her on that.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we got some strawberries from her yesterday. I'm not for sure exactly where she got them at, but she didn't give
She
a
mu-
Tractor Supply though.
Well, they apparently they're set up out in their parking lot.
Okay.
I guess whoever it is, Pat told me, but I can't remember who she said it was.
So I
And
noticed
then-
these are a little bit, these cups are different. I haven't seen these cups. They're you're pretty standardized. You got a little bit bigger one right here, it looks like.
Yeah, this is a 4-inch pot.
That's a 4-inch, okay.
Yes, and it's a shorter. Now some of them will be tall. You know, you can have them tall like this. This is, actually this might be no, it's a 4-inch. And then of course you have the, this is a 6.5 inch, which is what I, pot up bigger stuff, like the petunias and the geraniums are in that size there. These are just the inserts, because you can buy, when you get into buying individual pots, then it's a lot more expensive
Yeah.
than getting the inserts.
Yeah, they stamped them probably in one piece easier.
Yes.
So we was looking right up here. Is one more thing I want to talk about.
Here,
Is
you can see here.
Okay,
See
there you go. Yeah, we was looking at them earlier.
That is a whole. Actually, John, right here. I'm still potting up some stuff. Let me move my crap out of the way.
So I'm interested in all this because this is what I've been doing. So I'm
Yes.
always looking to. The one thing I didn't have any luck with was the little Jiffy pot things. I didn't do good with them at all.
Yeah, they dry out too fast.
Yeah, that's what happened. That was my fault. I let them get dry. They probably work, but you got to keep them wet. They just.
And see, I will get these. These will be 200 of these in a box.
Okay.
And then of course
But that gives you 200. You're talking about 200 of those trays, so that gives you 200 times 18.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you buy this is the flat.
Okay.
And then you just put it in here. Over here I have I mix up in the wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
I usually do at least 50 bales a year in a wheelbarrow.
So you call this a bale right here? What you're
Yes.
mixing. We talked about this the other day.
Yeah. That's the Pro Mix. You can see it better over here, like this. It's like 3.8 cubic feet.
Yeah, that's. This is for a starter.
Yes, I use the Pro Mix to do start my seeds, and when I transplant from the seed flat into the cups, and then when I take like this size here, I will use the Lambert because it has a little bit more pine bark in it, so it holds water a little bit better. So when you pot up to bigger pots, it's easier on watering if you.
And you sell this
have
if people
this.
need to buy this, you can sell them this. Because I've not
Yes.
seen this anywhere, nothing like this, or I would have bought some already.
Yes.
How much does it sell for?
I will sell these two like $40 for a bag.
Okay.
And it's compressed in there, so when you get in there, you put it like in your wheelbarrow or pot or whatever, and you wet it down and mix it. A bale this size here will do. This is like a 10-inch basket. This will do 35 pots.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Time you hydrate it, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I just bought some cocoa core, a block of it. Have you ever dealt with that?
I have not, but I hear it's it drains good, but it's hard to keep stuff wet, I believe.
Is it?
I've never used it, but
Well, I wanted to order some just to try it for mulch. Not necessarily in the mix itself, but as a mulch. But it's too expensive. It's just it's crazy expensive. So it comes in a little bitty. I'm gonna make a video on it. It's no bigger than nothing, and it's $29 for one of those little blocks on there. But it makes 2 cubic. We're talking about this. It makes 2 cubic feet once you hydrate it.
okay.
It'll make 2 cubic feet. But that was shipped to me from Amazon for $29. It's,
Okay.
So I just did it for a video to see what it's like, and then because I figured up to do my 5 raised beds and put 3 inches of it, it would cost $1,000.
Ouch.
For mulch. So I said, well, I'll just get one of them to do a video on to show people, because there are some people that do mix it in with their soil.
Yes.
Too. I've seen that, and everybody has a different way of doing things, but
we were talking about a mulch. I don't know if you thought about it, but a couple of times I have gotten the bales of pine straw, like from the co-op, and that actually I don't. It's been a few years since I got. You know, it's in a bale, like a bale of hay.
So, yeah, I've heard them say.
But that actually, I like it because you don't have to have it on real thick, and when you wet it down, it stays wet pretty good. And it lasts a lot longer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it'll last for. I've had it last like 3 years.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to bother anything.
Yeah.
And actually, I think my pepper plants liked it better because I guess it was acidic a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'll look into seeing if I can find that. One of the things I try to do is find stuff that they can buy at the big box stores a lot of times, so they can.
Actually, I think they have it at Lowe's.
So they can buy the same thing. And so I watch a lot of channels, and they'll mix a soil up, and they'll take their 3 different ingredients, and they'll mix it all. But that's too hard for my audiences. A lot of people that's 55 and older,
right.
And they're not wanting to mix 3 different components to make their own soil up. They're wanting to go buy something.
Right.
So I'm trying to
everything
find things
everything
like this
is
right
in
here.
here.
They can just come and
the out there the ocean forest.
Yeah.
That has everything in it too, and it's actually all organic. Well, this is organic too, but the ocean forest, it has worm castings and some bat guano in there for the fertilizer part of it.
Okay.
Whereas this has like a 2-week starter fertilizer. Now this is the verbena bonariensis. It's a tall verbena, like a wildflower. It'll attract pollinators.
Okay.
This is called sweet alyssum. It is stays low, bushes out about a foot and a half, and this smells really good. This will attract pollinators as well.
Okay.
This is called moss rose. It's an old-timey plant, and it will stay low and spread about a foot, 15 inches. And the hotter and drier, the better for this.
It doesn't like a lot of water?
Right.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna get you a couple more things too.
Okay.
So.
Let's look at these succulents for a second. That's one thing we didn't look at. And
yes.
I know a lot of people's interested in succulents.
Yes.
You've got a nice selection of those. They're different ones.
Yeah, I have, let me move this petunia out of the way, bud. I have, these are just where I potted up and separated them. But then what I started doing this year, and everybody has been so far interested in, I have the little starts.
Yeah.
Like $1 to $5. And you can just get whatever you're interested in and make up your own little pot or basket. People make the wreaths with them now, just little pieces like that. And then there's more like smaller ones over there and different colors you can see all in there. There's like some more of the purplish ones, kind of the ghosty color ones is what they call it, in the middle there. So
now that one's unusual, that's standing up right there.
Yes, that is called blue chalk sticks.
Okay.
Yes.
And is that something that how now do you start another one off of this if you want another one of these, or how do you start another one of these?
On this right here, you could cut this piece right here off and let it callus over, which means when you cut it, because the succulents are so thick, you need to let it get hard before you stick it down in a pot, because if you don't, it'll rot.
Okay.
So you could just cut that little piece off right there and let it sit out for a week, and then stick it down in a pot, and it will root. Succulents are very easy to root.
Okay.
I mean, look at them. This has been laying out for a month.
And they don't need a lot of...
They don't need a lot of water.
Okay.
And most of them can take a good bit of sun, and some can take full sun. And you can have them out for the summer, but you need to bring them in through the winter here, because they're not hardy.
But now these are here though, right? Am I right?
The hens and chicks.
Because we've had these my
Yes.
whole life. I remember these. This is something that grew in the backyard and everyone.
Yes. Those are hardy. And then you can see they will put off little babies. That's the chicks. Right. And then as the chicks get bigger, you can pull those off and just start more like that.
For some reason, I feel that these are kind of the Appalachian traditional type
Yes.
of thing. For some reason, I always seen these around
Oh yeah.
everybody's house for some reason. I don't know if they did. I don't know if they had a particular purpose, if they did anything, except people just like to look at them. I'm not for sure.
I think they were different. They didn't have much care to them. Because
Yeah.
I remember back being my Mama, we called her Mama Ogle, but she was my great grandmother up in Gatlinburg. She had them back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So that was a long time ago. Of course, the one thing I don't have is basil, which I do have basil, but it's not transplanted yet. But you like the dill, and once you get this dill started, John, let it go.
Oh yeah, that was pretty.
It'll grow up
Yeah.
kind of tall and get feathery, and then when it blooms, it'll make a nice, pretty yellow bloom, and then let that bloom kind of die back, and you can save the seed. But usually you don't have to save the seed because you'll have volunteers that'll come up
So
once they get done with the because when
Okay.
they come up and they bloom, they're almost done.
well, see, you got good prices on everything compared to what I've been paying, where I've been buying
Yes.
$3 each, which most things in the cups I've been buying is $5, but then
Yes.
you can get a flat for 25 when some of those has got 18 in them.
Yes,
So you got like,
it breaks down to $1.35 a plant.
there you go.
And
So,
you can mix and match, because some places you go you can only do tomatoes or whatever, but here you can do herbs, vegetables, flowers, because people want a good value, and the way things are now, everything
well, I know
is,
if I'd have came here, I could have saved a lot of money. But
Everything
I
is-
didn't know that you were still here, Jackie. I'd come here many, many years ago, but like we talked about earlier, over time, sometimes when the big stores open up, you're kind of there getting something else, and then you'll pick up a plant or two. Then the little mom and pop places like this, I think, I don't see so many of them no more. So
and years and years ago, we tried to advertise like the press and on the radio, but whenever we would ask people, hey, did you see our ad or hear it? Oh no, so-and-so told me.
yeah, word of
So
mouth. Yeah.
trying to pay
Well,
for
that's how I found out about you through Tracy. She said
Yes.
she was here, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I forgot
and
she was
Tracy
still
has
there.
came here for a long time.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's
she's sweet.
yes, she is. She's been a blessing to making videos with us. So
Yes, and I saw that she has a channel too.
she's had a channel for her real estate,
Okay.
showing houses, but now she just started a channel just for her. It's got 4 videos on it of the stuff that she does, like crafting things and cooking things and stuff like that.
Yes.
It'll be,
Well, she'll come back, so I'm going to ask her what her channel name is.
I've got it. I'll give it to you here in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Do that.
because I need to add it. A lot of people was asking about her channel on the last video, and she didn't have it quite set up.
Okay.
So she's got it set up now. Do you have a Facebook page or anything for the nursery?
I do not, because
Okay.
I'm not on social media.
Not on social media. Okay. That's how people.
I'm not doing it.
People don't advertise so much in the newspapers like they used to. It's more online now.
Yes.
It's more.
And instead of, I found out, I guess it's probably about 5 years ago or so, people come up and they're like, hey, do you mind if I put you on my Facebook page? And I'm like, please do. And so a lot of people found out about me just the last 5 years through
Yeah.
people putting me on their Facebook
Right.
page.
That's how. Facebook is just social media, and people see stuff and they like it, and then they'll click on it. And
Yes.
I've been doing it ever since 2008. I've been on Facebook ever since 2008.
Yes.
And I've used it for all my businesses for one thing or another.
I'm going to grab a couple of these for you, John, because
Oh, okay.
you were attracted to these.
Yeah, they're very pretty.
It's
They
different.
sure are.
It just
Yeah.
gives you some contrast when you plant it, with other stuff.
Well, we'll finish this video up after a while at home. Me planting this. This will be the ending of the video.
Now this
I'm
is
excited.
this is sage. This is the garden sage,
Garden sage.
like you
okay.
use for your turkey and dressing.
Okay.
This is lemongrass. Now this will make a nice pretty grass. It smells lemony, but if you want to save that, you will have to dig that up and take it in.
Okay.
But over the summer, you can, it smells good. I just like
So
the
now,
smell of it.
This don't seem like I can plant this. This seems a little cold for these two right here, maybe.
You can go ahead and plant everything.
Everything's okay?
Except for this.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
I would wait until it's a little warmer
them are
on
beautiful.
these.
I'll keep them inside. I got some little grow lights inside, so I'll keep them under that.
And then you can put these out now. You can put the dill out now. I mean, I'm sure it'll probably turn cool again, but I don't foresee a freeze. Actually, I've kept weather records since we've lived here. In 40 years, 3 different times, we had a hard freeze in, every year was May 17th.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, people who had daylilies and hostas up.
May 17th, we've had hard freezes?
Yeah. But it's only been 3 times in 40 years.
Golly. That's still hard to believe, though.
Usually people, you have 3 groups. Group 1 is after May 1st, it's safe. Group 2 is after May 5th, it's safe. Group 3 is the 10th through the 15th is safe.
Okay.
And a lot of people, a lot of the old timers around here, and it's true for the most part, ever since I've been living here, when you look at the mountain back here, when you see the trees leafed out all the way to the top, it's safe.
Yeah.
It's what people say, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's been fooled a couple of times those 3 years, but for the majority of it, it pans out pretty good.
So, as we were talking about your pricing on all this, so this right here, basically, if they got this, they could get a flat like this for 20. Is it 20 or 25?
25.
25. Okay.
Yes.
So that's quite a good deal, guys, because each one of these things, when you go buy them, which I've never seen these right here at any of the big box stores. That's the reason I was attracted to these, because I hadn't seen none of this. But that's a good deal. So coming to see you could get a variety of different things for, you know, for 4 of these right here would make a garden. You'd have 4 flats. You'd have plenty enough stuff to grow.
And when people are doing, you know, because most people now don't have big, huge gardens anymore. They will come and get a whole tray of mixed up vegetables, because you know you can get you know 4 to 6 tomatoes, you can get you 2 or 3 peppers, you can get you a couple of cucumber plants, a couple of squash plants, and you got your whole garden.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting.
I'm gonna get you a couple more. Fill that one up.
Oh,
bud.
okay. Well, thank you.
I'm gonna get you a hens and chick, because you seem drawn to those.
Well, you know, I have done those before one time and had them and actually would plot them over and gave them away, and then we moved and I didn't have them.
Do you want to pass on those?
No, I'd like to have some. Yeah.
That one right there looks awful good.
Okay. That's that's something that I've had
and then
been around my whole life.
I'm gonna put you a couple more, because I know Dustin was interested in the.
Yeah, he's got them on the shelf on the grow light.
I'm gonna get a couple of. I think he got a couple of those, but
yeah.
There's I like this green.
Okay.
It's kind of yellowy green, and I'm gonna go over and get a couple of the like the ghost. I call them ghost.
Right.
Because it almost looks like it doesn't have any pigment to it, like this. But
I've never seen those before.
That's how it's supposed to look.
Those are pretty. I thought about trying to make just a rack of succulents. Are better at just like would they be okay under like just little standard grow lights, like small indoor grow lights?
Yeah.
I thought about just trying to do a whole section of them. You know.
Yes.
This will get me started, because I was already wanting to do that. So.
Yes. Now what I have this year, I don't have any, but in previous years, I would take a bowl like this size right here, and I would pot up like 4 or 5 different ones, and that way you'd have a mixed bowl. And then instead of looking at the dirt, I would get like pea gravel or some pretty, you know, like fish aquarium rock, and put that on the top. Yeah. Just to dress it up a little bit.
That's probably what I'll do. I'm gonna set them on a rack in front of the window. I've got a sliding door window I can put them in front of.
Yeah,
and,
I like that.
I'll probably do something square though instead of round. Round will take up. I'll need square.
Yeah.
I've got some little pots I'll get them started with.
You could pot all 4 of those up into even just a pot like this. See how I have some of them I have a couple in there, like over in there. You could pot all those up into a pot together, and that, I mean, even if they don't bloom, I mean, some of them do bloom, You know, you can see some buds, blooms coming up over there.
Uh-huh.
But even though they don't bloom, they're colorful just because of the leaves.
Yeah, I know they're...
And they're carefree.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, low water, virtually hardly watering, you know, and that's basically it, you know.
Let
So,
me help you with these right here.
yep. We'll just,
I'm excited.
yes.
Oh, I keep hitting your pots.
Oh, sorry, bud. I keep forgetting that people are not as short as me. And I try to get stuff out of the way, but I had over the last weekend, everything that was out there, I moved back in just to be safe.
Yeah, right.
So
It was chilly.
I had all baskets right through here, and I try to keep my space open in case it does turn cold.
Oh, okay.
I got space to hang up stuff.
Right. Yeah. It got a little chilly.
Oh yeah, that it was 37, and then the next night was 38, and then 41. Last night was still 44.
Yeah.
So, and when it's windy, it's hard on plants too, especially if you haven't had them out. You know, getting used to the. If you take that was one of the biggest things that people I think have finally learned. Don't take it straight from the greenhouse and put it right out in the baking direct sun, because they'll get sunburnt. And you know, that's basically like tomatoes and peppers, the leaves they'll look white, and it's basically sunburned. And you need to let them get used. When you take it straight out of the greenhouse, sit it where it gets like morning sun for an hour, and then every day increase it just a little bit more before you put it right out in the baking sun.
Okay. Yeah.
And I try to take stuff out and sit, so that the people who do want to plant, the minute they go home, I have a lot of stuff that's sitting outside it's ready to go. So.
Yeah. So since I'm doing raised bed gardening, that's something that, you know, as a kid growing up, we always made flower beds out for flowers, and we would build up raised beds like that for flowers, but I never done it from vegetables. Is that something that's in the recent years starting to become more popular, or people doing vegetables that way too?
Yes.
And gardening?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even like in like 5-gallon buckets and pots on the porch for people who don't want to get out and deal with raised beds. You know, you can have, if you want, you know, a couple of tomatoes, a couple of peppers, you can do that in pots now. I tell people for peppers, you can grow like a pot like this right here. This size, that's like a 14-inch, probably about 12 inches tall. I would just put one pepper in there, because people have a tendency to put like 3 or 4 peppers in there, and that's way too much. And then if you want to have good luck with tomatoes, I tell people to use an even bigger pot. Like, I don't know if you can see it or not, John, right here. See how big this pot is?
Yeah.
And on that, I would just put one tomato in there. That way, when we get down into like July and August and it's hot, you won't be watering 2 or 3 times a day.
Have you ever tried to keep pepper plants over winter?
I have, and years ago when we used to keep our thermostat at like 45, I could do that.
No, we have at 45.
Yeah, but 38,
Too cold.
they didn't like it, even right next to the heater.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of people they tell me that they have dug up a pepper plant, but when you do that in the fall, if you want to do that, you need to go ahead and cut that pepper plant back like at least halfway and pot it up, because if you try to dig that up and put it in a pot, it's going to struggle all winter. So if you go ahead and cut it like halfway back, it'll have a better chance. And a lot of people will just grow it like in a pot, and then when it starts getting cool in the fall, you just take the pot right in.
Right. I plan on doing one of them that way this year.
Mm-hmm.
Have you successfully wintered them over, then the next year have fruit on them before?
Oh yeah.
And how did it do the second year? Was the fruit better or bigger or more? Or how did that
It
do?
was more, and earlier too.
Earlier.
Yeah. because you know, a pepper is technically a perennial, like in
Yeah.
Mexico and places like that.
Right.
So the second year it was, I mean, they were leafed out and blooming, and
Early.
Yeah.
Inside, you just
Yes, and then when you take them back out like onto the patio or whatever, I started having peppers like in the 1st of June.
okay.
Whereas normally on peppers, if you start them like now from smaller ones, you won't start getting peppers good until August. You know, you'll start getting some in July late, but the main batch of peppers will come August and September
Okay.
up until frost.
So yeah, that's something I'm just learning, that they're that you can winter them over if you keep them warm enough. So I'm gonna try to do
Well,
one.
actually, I used it at 45 and they made it. They didn't really grow a lot, of
Now,
course.
would they lose their leaves completely through the winter or anything?
Yes.
They
Now they will lose, but gradually.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's not like when you take them in, they just totally lose them. But they will gradually drop those leaves. But the new growth will come out in the tips.
In the spring next year.
Like right here, when if you cut all this back, the new growth will come out in here on a pepper plant when you save them over.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to try to do, was one of them. I'm not for sure which one, but I don't like hot peppers myself so much, but I do like all the sweet peppers just because of the color.
Yes.
Pretty colors. And we like using them on the videos because the colors that pop in when we're cooking with things. So we're going to do hopefully grow some that we can do some stuffed peppers and some things like that this year.
Yes. So. Actually, honey, I don't know if you have I've been growing a purple bell. It doesn't get great big. It gets about maybe like this and maybe like that, but the plant stays compact.
Really?
And that would be a good one to grow in a pot.
Well, I have 3 purple bells that I bought, but I didn't know they got small like that.
Well, I guess, I don't know if it's just
or stayed small that way, you know.
I don't know if all of them do that, because, you know, there's all kinds of, probably not as many pepper varieties as tomatoes, but there's a lot of different pepper varieties.
Yeah.
But where I get my seeds from, it's just called purple bell.
Yeah.
So.
I got some starter plants, about 3 of those, so those are some that we'll see how they'll do. I've never seen those before. So. Well, guys, I got to go home and plant some stuff now, and we'll finish that up on the last part of this video. I'll let you see how I've got them planted, because I'm going to put them out. She said I can put them all out but 3 of the moss rose.
Moss rose, yes.
Okay, and so I'll keep them inside. We're going to plant them here in just a little bit, but wanted to thank Jackie for the tour today and all the information and knowledge. So that's one of the things about coming here. She has a degree in what, horticulture, is that what it's called?
Yes.
So she can help you with questions and answers like she has with me. If you have questions, you can come here and she can answer them for you. So.
And if I don't know, I will tell you I don't know.
So that's one of the neat things about coming to somebody that's got 40 years experience of growing firsthand right here, that you can get some information that is useful. And sometimes it's at some of the big box stores, they try to help you, but they don't always know because they've not got 40 years of experience growing stuff. So,
and they've not grown it.
Right. And she's grown it right here, so she can tell you exactly everything about them. So Mother's Day's coming up. That's going to be a big event. I would say come way before Mother's Day's weekend, the week of that week. Saturday,
yes.
Probably can't even pull in the parking lot, I'd say, on Saturday.
Well, over the years, a lot of people have come like a couple of weeks before Mother's Day.
Weeks, okay.
Yeah.
So if you wait the day of, it might not be much to pick from. So, or the Saturday before. There's a lot of people shop the Saturday before.
Yes, they do.
So that day you're going to have a hard time probably getting in here. So try to come as soon as possible. As soon as you watch this video, come on out and visit her.
Yes.
And, but she's closed on Sundays.
Closed on Sundays. My set hours are Monday through Saturday, 9:30 to 5:30. But the closer we get to Mother's Day, I will be open a little later in the evening till maybe 6:30. And even in the mornings, I will be opening up a little earlier too, because gardeners want to get out in the early and they want to plant late too. So I have to adjust to that a little bit for the next 3 weeks.
Well, I'll be back, and we'll see how things are going here in a few weeks. I'll be back to get some more stuff, I'm sure. And thank you for the flowers today, or the got all kinds of things. I don't even know what it all is. I'll have to look at the video. I know it was unusual stuff that I hadn't seen anywhere else. And,
Yes.
that was one of the things I liked about coming here. I found some things I didn't find at the big box stores. So it's probably some of the stuff's harder for some of the big growers to do. It's probably some things that you can probably do better because you're so much more personal time and care instead of it just being a mass
Yes.
growing something.
Yeah.
I'd say certain things you can't do that way. You got to have a lot more attention.
Yes.
And,
Yes. And you know, I try to experiment with some new things every year. There's a few takers, but I always like to grow something different every year. So
I saw it around and you'd be like, oh, nobody bought this. They didn't try it. But
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought they were neat. I saw the stuff and I'm like, yeah, this is different and
Yes.
neat. All right, guys, I'm gonna get home and make sure to come by and see Jackie, and we'll close the video after I get these plants done. All right, everyone, I'm back to the homestead, and I have my beautiful flat of different types of plants here, and not going to plant them today. There might be a few I probably could, but I need to harden these off. I need to let these set outside for a few hours a day with sunlight, then partial sunlight, then bring them out every day a little bit longer over the next few weeks. If not, they might get sunburnt. Some of them is okay to put out as far as the temperature, but they've been in the greenhouse and they've not been exposed to this direct sunlight. So we're going to put these down here and let them get a little bit of sunlight today out here, and then I'll take them in and out so that they don't get overexposed at first. We don't want to burn them up. So guys, if you're looking for a local nursery here in the East Tennessee area, she's in Campbell County, right outside of downtown LaFollette. Jackie's nursery is not on the old interweb nowhere, and it's not on the Facebook, and it's not anywhere to be found except right there. She's open 6 days a week right now. You just have to show up and you'll find her there. So no way to really contact her outside of just showing up. So we appreciate you all. Make sure to leave her a comment there. And if you've ever bought anything from her, leave her a comment. Let her know that you've purchased from her before. Let her know that you appreciate her hanging in there in these hard times when it comes to competing with the big box stores. Jackie's still there giving out advice on how to take care and care for your plants that she sells. So she grew them and she sells them to you. So guys, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the notification button. If you don't follow me on the Appalachian channel with John Ward, I'll put a link down in the description or in the comments, and if I forget it, let me know so you can find me on the Appalachian channel. Guys, love you all. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.